Hello there. I'm George Putnam. I'd like to begin with a fact, a simple yet shocking fact. It is this: a flood tide of filth is engulfing our country in the form of newsstand obscenity and is threatening to pervert an entire generation of our American children. We know that once a person is perverted, it is practically impossible for that person to adjust to normal attitudes.
So today we're going to be talking about Red Room by Ed Piskor. And this is one of these, this was an independent horror series that was released by Fantagraphics. And this is the first issue. It just recently came out. And Ed Piskor, if none of you know, he's part of the team of Cartoonist Kayfabe, and is also, obviously a comic book person in his own right. And this is a series that he has been working on. And what we're looking at here is a series that focuses on what are known as red rooms. Those are supposed rooms on the dark web where you can go and watch people get murdered. So basically, it's like the whole snuff film concept, except, through the dark web. And it's like, does that sort of shit really exist? It's like that shit gets shut down. It's like the whole snuff film thing, and it's just largely been considered, the snuff films have largely been considered an urban legend. So like this is just an extension of it. It's like the whole concept of oh, you can go online and pay Bitcoin to see somebody get murdered. It's just sort of like a logical extension of that old urban legend. And so this is Ed Piskor's approach to that kind of concept. And I love the cover. And there's multiple variants, but I think the cover A is my favorite because it very much looks like like an old exploitation movie playbill, and it really just conveys a whole lot in a very little amount of time. This, sort of gives you an idea what you're looking at. You're looking at, this is a very gory, very absurd book. And, I'm not going to get into the characters too much. It's one of these things where like a lot of the characters are kind of a means to an end, I guess you could say. But at the same time, it's interesting. If you're into extreme horror, this is the kind of book you might want to look at. The art style is definitely in that old underground comic vein. So like this is an extension of like what you would have seen on underground collections back in the 70s or so. It's like, this is very much akin to the kind of artwork you'd see by Robert Crumb or whatever. It's just much more extreme, much more gory. The basic plot is that there's a thriving industry of online stuff, and there are rival families producing this stuff, and so there's a need for new talent, new killers that know how to torture and kill people on camera. And the comic focuses mainly on the business that's being run by Mistress Pentagram. That's her on the cover. And people are killed and murdered in, pretty creative ways. I've seen a lot of people online saying this was like the most extreme thing that they've ever read. I have to admit, like, it's extreme, but like there's a hell of a lot more extreme out there. This is just, like it became mainstream. It's like there's even a peach momoko variant out there of this. But the story is pretty, the story is pretty straightforward. That's the reason why, like, I don't want to delve into it too much. In comparison to like what I was reviewing the other day with ENIAC. ENIAC, has like the story that has like espionage and it deals with the Cold War, World War II, and just techno fear and everything like that. But there's like no character development whatsoever. And it's like this, on the other hand, is something that's meant to be more visceral, more shocking. It's meant to focus more on the violence. But there is some characterizations, mannerisms, things that make the story come off in a little bit more, I would say, substantial kind of read. And it's really well done. I really like this underground style of art. It really speaks to me. It's like I listen to a lot of death metal and shit like that. So like this is this reminds me of like the old school stuff. It's like old school like cassette demo covers. But I can't really say that. I can't really say I connect with the book on a big scale, because some of it just seems to be shocking for shocking's sake. Some of it, just seems a little bit over the top. But I do appreciate, because like the artwork, I love this kind of artwork because it's very detailed. Like there's just so much detail on the characters that it's really a wonderfully little visceral read. And yeah, it's like I love this image right here. It's like it's like the perspective of this particular image is really off, because it's like this woman's head is like normal shape, but like from this perspective it looks a little bit encephalitic. But like it's really well done. It's really well done, and I appreciate it. I mean, like just the artwork alone is enough to really drive this home. And like they're little details, like we see examples of like what's going on in the red room. So like we have like these images right here. So we get like the little discussions that happen, in the chat rooms. And like some of them you can see like, how much cryptocurrency is being, tipped to the performers and things like that. So like there's a lot of really amusing things here. It actually has a decent amount of nuance, and the reveal of what the victims are by the end of the book is I wouldn't necessarily say it's shocking. I know a lot of people might consider it shocking, but I found it really a nice touch. So like this is definitely something that if you like horror at all, if you like gore, or if you like something extreme, I would recommend. If you want to just try something different, I'd recommend it. But other than that, if you're squeamish, maybe not so much. But like for me, this is a perfectly fine edition. I'm actually very happy. I've been subbed up for it for a couple months. So like I think there's going to be a total of 12 issues. And it's just like the artwork is just I love this kind of stuff, man. It's like the kind of shit that I used to draw on like my Trapper Keeper back in the day, except very detailed and a hell of a lot of work. So congratulations to Ed Piskor for getting this out. And back to business for Rude Planet. We are still doing the June giveaway. I'm going to be giving away something. If I do have it by the time this video comes out, it'll be right here. Okay, I'll be giving that away at the end of June. All you need to do is leave a comment on the June video, be subscribed, be a U.S. resident, and I'm still giving my push for 500 subscribers. And I'll be giving that away as soon as I reach 500 subscribers. So that's that. I will see you again next week.